If you've ever dreamed of having a second home, maybe in St. George or Bear Lake, my next guest says there's a smarter way to do it. Kelly Henry is here from Fraxioned, and I was telling her this is a genius idea that you got from all the houseboats at Lake Powell.
Yeah, if you've ever been to Lake Powell before, you've probably seen how they do their houseboat co-ownerships with multiple families owning a houseboat and making it just more affordable. And we thought, why can't we do this or something similar for vacation homes?
Yeah, and I think people might get confused when you hear the word co-ownership. I was saying I've actually been seeing this on real estate properties lately. It's not a timeshare.
It's definitely not a timeshare, and it is really the new way to do vacation home ownership. It's kind of making a big wave. The big differences between timeshares and co-ownership is actual real ownership. You get equity, it can appreciate with the housing market, where timeshares pretty much immediately depreciate. Plus the scheduling is what sets us apart. With timeshares, you usually have you got to go week 30 every year from Saturday to Saturday or whatever that might be. Where this, you can schedule your own time. We go by nights, not necessarily by weeks. So you get 30 plus nights a year depending on your property, and you can book between 3 nights to 14 nights at a time. So let's say your kid has a soccer tournament down in St. George over President's Day weekend, you can easily just go book your time at your vacation home there.
Yeah, when you were explaining it, it made me think of a timeshare is more like you're all going in to rent something together. This is you're all going in to actually buy something together.
Yes, so each property is owned by a property-specific LLC, and the owners own a share of that LLC.
Gotcha. Let's talk about how this differs financially, too.
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about shared ownership is you're sharing the financial burden. So if you traditionally own a vacation home 100% on your own, you have 100% of that burden of the finances. And you're still using the home part of the time.
Right.
So that's the beautiful way that this works is you share all of the expenses of the home and you share time at the home, but it also gives you a chance to own a bigger, better, more luxurious home. We have some awesome homes down right on the lagoon in Desert Color that are, might not be feasible for somebody to buy 100% on their own.
Yeah, totally. Let's talk about how it's fully managed too. You don't have to do any of the management of the property.
You don't have to do one thing, you just get to show up. So at Fraxioned, we professionally manage all of our properties. So we take care of maintenance, cleaning, paying the bills, snow removal, or pool cleanings, any of that stuff. So sometimes, I've had friends who have cabins in Bear Lake, and it's like, we go up there, we need to shovel the snow first, and we've got to fix the deck while we're there, and we'll hang out, you know what I mean? And so this is, you just get to show up, and everything's taken care of, and you don't have to lift a finger.
Totally. Let's talk about why this is a better option, you say, for a lot of reasons, than going and renting a vacation home every time you go to St. George or whatever.
Yeah, if you're going to these places frequently and you enjoy it, it's just you're wasting money and throwing it away if you're doing just rentals every time, instead of really building that equity. But also, what we love at Fraxioned is the family memories. When you go to the same place and you build those memories, and it's a legacy that you're creating with your family. And we call most of our owners the favorite grandparents. They love to have their, bring all of their family and come together where you don't have to get plane tickets to go to a nice vacation with all of your kids and grandkids.
Yeah, we mentioned St. George and Bear Lake, but I've also seen you have some in Park City. There's lots of locations.
Right now we have them in Bear Lake and St. George, but we're looking at expanding to Park City and California, like Lake Tahoe, Palm Springs, lots of other areas. So we're new, we're a Utah-based company, but we have plans to grow and go outside of Utah as well.
And so people can go and look at the listings available right now on your website?
Yeah, they can go to Fraxioned.com. We're Fraxioned with the X.
Yes, we got it on the screen there for people, and you have a deal for our viewers.
Yes, so you can go see all of our listings. There's walkthroughs, 3D tours of all of them. Plus, we also break down on the website kind of co-ownership and what it entails, because it is kind of a new thinking that people don't really understand or haven't maybe heard of. And so you can go learn about us there. And if you mention that you saw us today on Studio 5, you can get $2,000 off your closing costs.
Woohoo! All right, thanks for introducing us to this new concept.
Thank you so much.